Hey, I'm Joel Villafana, and this is Cup of Joe. I'm from Sweet T&T. The Caribbean is my home. Big, bold flavors are always popping in my kitchen. I'm not a chef, but I've read hundreds of cookbooks and concocted my own recipes with a Caribbean twist. It's real fun, fantastic food, lots of friends, and big, bold flavors. This is Cup of Joe. Come share a cup with me. Hey guys, welcome to it. Hope you're all doing well. Hope everyone's fine, keeping safe. This is Cup of Joe. Thanks for sharing a cup with us. I am so happy because today one of my heroes here with me, and he's going to be here sharing a cup with me. He's just launched his autobiography, and I can't wait for him to come on set with us. First, let me drop a little cup of inspiration on you, as I usually do to start the show. So this one is just for you to reflect a bit. It goes like this. Every generation believes they are more intelligent than the one that went before, and wiser than the one that comes after it. So let me go there one more time. Every generation believes they are more intelligent than the one that went before it, and more wiser than the one that comes after it. The only way we make progress, however, is if all the generations do this. We can learn so much from each other. Yeah? Let's get this show started. Here's what's coming up on the show, guys. Everald Gally Cummings is here. As I said, he was the first coach that I idolized because one of the teams that came through Trinidad and Tobago was a team that we fondly called the Strike Squad. And he was the man responsible for the Strike Squad. He was also the man that attached our culture to football. Kai Soka soccer. You never thought all the interviews we do together, I would have been able to,
no, I never thought.
to cook for you and make a smoothie for you.
So the egg is like the midfield in a football team. It connects everything together.
Gally Cummings, come on! All right, let's get this show started, guys. I'm so excited, as I said. One of my heroes from when I was a little boy. My first coach that I think I knew and idolized as a young football fan was Everald Gally Cummings. He's here, and I can't wait to welcome him on set. He's just launched his autobiography. This is 60 years of history of football in Trinidad and Tobago. I think that deserves to start with a smoothie. So I'm starting with a smoothie, and this is a tropical, healthy kind of smoothie. Gally is here, so I'm trying to keep it healthy. You know, he's coach and he's trying to make sure he stay fit and that kind of thing. So I'm starting with some ice. This one, guys, brought to you by the folks at Nature's Heart. Nature's Heart, lactose-free milk, 3 flavors: almond, almond vanilla, and then there's an almond unsweetened. Almond milk is something that I have started using more and more of, as I just kind of watching what you drink, what you put into your body. And this, as I said, this smoothie is one of those that you can just toss some fresh fruit, fresh vegetables in a blender and get those wonderful ingredients into your system. So I have here a fruit that I love, pawpaw, papaya, for those of you who may want to call it by that. But I'm just getting some nice fresh fruit in here. So going with some pawpaw, I have some bananas. So bananas, pawpaw is real simple, everything in the blender. And guess what I did here? I have some pumpkin that I just mashed, boiled up and mashed nicely. This is very simple. Peel the pumpkin, boil it, mash it, and you get a nice little puree like this. And to keep it nice and healthy, as I said, I am adding the almond milk from Nature's Heart. Guys, new milk on the market by Nestle, and I want a cup of this almond milk to go in there in my blender. And now I just want to add a little spice to it. So I have some cinnamon, a little vanilla essence, and some honey. The thing about it is that the bananas will give it that natural little sweetness that you're looking for. So you really don't need to add any additional sugars. But a little honey is good for the heart. And I have some chia seeds. Keeping it nice and healthy. Chia seeds, guys, very, very good for you. And I think I'm ready to pull this together. So in a blender, and there you have it. Look at that wonderful color. My tropical smoothie to get things started today. Thanks to the folks at Nature's Heart. New almond milk on the market, guys. You know Marilla like it pretty, so a little mint to the top. Get a recipe on our YouTube channel, Cup of Joe Caribbean. Ladies and gentlemen, at this stage, I want to welcome my celebrity guest. He is former national player, former national coach, 1973 Footballer of the Year, Everald Gally Cummings. Welcome, sir. Have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat. How you doing?
I'm fine.
So you know you have to make sure and taste this one.
Oh, yeah,
I see you taste this one. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. You can pull the mask down. Mm-hmm.
Delicious.
It's good enough. Pawpaw, bananas, some pumpkin. It's good? You never thought all the years, all the interviews we do together, I would have been able to,
No, I never thought.
to cook for you and make a smoothie for you.
Very good.
Very good, very good. Coach, welcome.
Thank you very much.
So good to have you here. I think first time you're here on Cup of Joe.
Yeah.
We would have spoken serious sport and football over the years in my days as a sport journalist.
Right.
But once I saw you did, which I think is long overdue.
Long ago. Most people say that.
I thought it was necessary to have you here with me.
I think the main reason for the book is that growing up as a youngster, I've had a lot of experiences, good and bad, in my football career. And what I noticed is that in Trinidad and Tobago, no one seemed to document anything. So when people come from abroad, sometimes they ask questions and no one has an answer. So I decided to do my book, to let people know who Gally Cummings is, what I represent, the kind of family background I came from, at the same time to let young footballers and the general public understand that this is a journey that I've been through for over 6 years, and it identifies a lot of different things about Trinidad and Tobago football history, of which I was a part of, and many other people.
Yeah. Football icon, national icon, and for those of you who may be a little younger than I am, as I said, he was the first coach that I idolized because one of the teams that came through Trinidad and Tobago was a team that we fondly called the Strike Squad. And he was the man responsible for the Strike Squad. He was also the man that attached our culture to football. Kai Soka Soccer was the brand we played. My pause reason as I'm talking about it because I was about that high. And that's the impact that this man had on me from since I was that high. We're coming back. Everald Gally Cummings is here. I'm rolling out recipes and we're looking at some history, some footballing history and some national history. Come on back. Roll Out a Recipe is brought to you by Nature's Heart. All right, we're back. Time to roll out some recipes. But just before that, as I said, my special guest today, my celebrity guest, is none other than Everald Gally Cummings. He was the coach, famously, of our 1989 Strike Squad. So for those of you, as I said, maybe a little younger, and you may be very familiar with the Soca Warriors who went to the World Cup. Before that, there was some serious football history in this country when it comes to World Cup qualifying. 1973-74, a team that Gally Cummings was part of, playing as the midfield maestro. That team played in Haiti and was robbed. Gally will give us that story in a little while. Was robbed in that game. The referee, I think, never refereed another game in his life for an opportunity for us to go to that 74 World Cup. And then in 1989, Gally was the coach of our national team, and we missed out going to that World Cup in the USA against the USA by just 1 point. I shed many, many tears back in 1989. And then, of course, in 2006, 2005, 2006, we went to the World Cup. Yeah. Gally, I mean, 60 years covered in the book, but hit me like one of your fondest memories of playing into coaching, fondest memories. It's the thing that jump out in your mind.
I think Mexico.
When you played in Mexico?
When I played in Mexico, I was, after Haiti,
yeah.
I was contracted to play with Veracruz Football Club in Mexico First Division. But what was amazing about that is that I went up, when I went to Veracruz and joined the team, but it's the middle of the football season.
Right.
So I went out at halftime in one of the games. They asked me to go in center field with the interpreter and wave to the crowd because everybody wanted to see the star player. And then what made it worse, I scored the first 2 goals against Mexico in our 4-0 victory of Mexico in Haiti. Not knowing that how the Mexican people think about the football, I went there happy from the tournament and forgetting that I was in Mexico. And we just...
And Trinidad was the big, just beat Mexico 4-0. Mexicans never forget.
They forget. So I went out to the center field with the interpreter from Veracruz and there were rain and noise and whistling and all the Spanish, the Latins do. And I was like waving to the crowd, you know, all royal and regal and stuff. And then the interpreter said to me, he said, "Do you know what they're saying to you?" And I said, "No, it's a thank God you don't understand Spanish just yet because they were cussing you out for scoring 2 goals against them."
Gally, so you're drunk. A nice.
Oh yes, I was looking for another one.
You were looking for another one? You can get another one, but I want to leave room because I have another recipe to
I can
roll out
understand
that. This one, guys, brought to you by the folks at Regal Products, and I am using the Regal Oats today. The oats really is a lovely substitute if you're doing meatballs or meatloaf or any type of meat dish. If you want to keep it healthy, I'm keeping in a kind of healthy theme today. If you want to keep it a little healthy twist, you replace breadcrumbs with some Regal oats, and I'm using the instant oats here. Let me show you how easy it is to do. I'm also using, guys, I just kind of had some seeds, some sunflower seeds and some pumpkin seeds. This will just garnish the top of my salad. So what I'm doing is very simple, Gally. I'm doing a lamb meatball salad. So I love lamb. I love beef, I love meat, but lamb sometimes really just, I love the little wild taste that lamb gives. So this is actually crushed lamb. You can use beef meatballs to do this, of course, but I have Gally Cummings here, so I try to do a little exotic and,
I appreciate that.
Lamb meatballs. So simple. I'm going to just start seasoning up this. So some salt, right? You just season well. Some pepper, and I will want to add some spice in it. So I have some cumin. Could add to that as well. I have some paprika. I love fresh herbs, so I have a little mixture of fine thyme as well as some rosemary in here that I want to get all over there. And fresh garlic. Love fresh garlic. And I get my garlic in there. And I can start mixing this together. Little touch of pepper. Are you a pepper mouth?
Not so much.
Not so much. So I'll do slight fare. I'll do slight fare. I'll do slight fare. If you're a pepper mouth, you could add some pepper sauce to it as well as the binding ingredients that goes in now, which is really the eggs and the breadcrumbs. So you have an egg that you can just do a light beat. I like to add half of the egg just because I don't want the mixture to be too wet. If I need to add more, I will.
So the egg is like the midfield in a football team. It connects everything together.
Gally Cummings, come on! It connects. It connects and brings everything together. Defense and the attacking midfield. The eggs is the midfield. And my meatballs. Only Gally Cummings. So I have my oats that I'm using these oats instead of breadcrumbs, guys. So if you're looking to stay away from flour or bread, these oats are the perfect healthy combination that you can just replace breadcrumbs with. And you add that in there and you mix. Another thing you could have done with the oats is soak it in some milk. It also gives it some nice texture as well. With these meatballs, you could have added some milk, but you just got to be careful now in terms of how much egg you add. If it is, because the milk will be a nice milky texture to your oats. That could have worked well as well. But this is kind of what I'm looking for, and now I can start rolling out these balls. So to get even balls, I measure, you know. I kind of just do that, and literally the balls should just kind of come together nicely like that. So you want, I would say like golf-sized balls kind of thing. You don't want footballs here, man. You don't want a football meatball here. Golf-sized balls kind of thing.
Not football and basketball.
You're overdoing the balls there, right? And you just keep rolling out. Very, very simple. Time for this to go into the oven and bake up for just about 20 minutes or so. And Gally, power of cooking on TV. I have some balls ready. Ready to go. So you see nice color, it gets there. And these balls, you can really just pop it and start to eat it just like that, you know. But I can't bring Gally Cummings on the show and just have him eat meatballs by itself like that. So what I'm doing, Gally, is I created a little salad. So you still your favorite greens, lettuce, spinach. We have some lettuce and lovely tomatoes and some onions and that kind of thing. Nice base of salad. And I really just want to know, lay these balls just like that. And your favorite dressing, I love a creamy dressing. It's not always, sometimes you can use a vinaigrette, but I love a creamy dressing. And you just kind of, most important ingredient, keeping it healthy, is the Regal oats. Replace your breadcrumbs with oats and you get a very, very healthy meatball. Gally Cummings, please enjoy. Please enjoy.
Thank you very much.
It's good.
Delicious.
So you go and tell Mrs. Cummings you want lamb meatballs with Regal oats instead of breadcrumbs.
Just give me the recipe.
Just give me the recipe, and you can get the recipe right on our YouTube channel, Cup of Joe Caribbean. Gally Cummings is here. We want to thank the folks at Regal for making this one possible. When we come back, we get into the heart and mind of this gentleman, Everald Gally Cummings. His brand new autobiography is out, and we find out all about this wonderful book that he has put together when we come back. Roll out a recipe with Regal products. Thank you very much, sir.
Pleasure is mine.
Thank you very much. As I said from the very first time I saw just the fact that Gally Cummings would have put his career and his autobiography, his story, on paper is something that I needed to get my hands on, and I wanted to read and sit down and read. So as soon as I read it, Gally, and I assess everything, I will let you know. I will do a nice little review of what I read, because this is history that part of the history I lived, seeing you as a coach. But yeah, as I said, you were the first coach that I idolized, and I put up there as my coach.
Thank you very much.
My coach.
I really appreciate that.
Those days, let me take you back to, we spoke a little bit about your playing days in Mexico, and I know that was a special time for you as a player, but you quickly emerged as a national coach after your playing days. So how long it took you probably after your playing days to start coaching?
Could have been about 7 years.
7 years after, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, but I would say about 7 years. I was at the Ministry of Sport. I was working at the Ministry of Sport at the time.
Right.
As a specialist coach for football. And I worked at the Ministry of Sport since 1984. And I think it's 1987, the director of sports, Mr. Cecil Walker, the late Cecil Walker, he said to me, I think you should be coaching a national team, because they are back from the Pan Am Games, and they've been, the players are dejected, the coaching is bad, they're not enjoying it. He said, and I saw you coach for the ministry, at the ministry, and also when you were assistant coach to the Dutchman back in 82, 83. And he said, and I think you were the person for the job. So what he did, he met a team when they came in from the United States. And he said, he told me that he had them sign a form. Who you are the coach, the team, whatever. And they all decided, oh, we're going to go with Gally.
With Gally.
And it took me, I think, about 1 week for a return game. And what the kind of encouragement I got is after the game at the Oval, we played against the US. I think the US were like beating us all kind of 6-2.
So let me take you back to that, because I remember, I always say, when every World Cup qualifying campaign that comes around, I've seen a lot over over the last 2 to 3 decades. But I remember that was the first one as a boy I was experiencing. And I remember getting 6-0, 7-0, 5-0. I said, this team getting licks. And then as I continued to follow, it went down to 2-0 and 3-0 and 1, and then we began drawing games.
That's it. Yeah,
there was a group of local players that I say, wait, this team, and I start. That's when I really as a young football fan, started to follow the fortunes of the team. That team you would have picked up, as I said, dejected team. Yeah. Group of local players.
Some players wanted to
quit football.
Yeah. And what was amazing,
how you turned it around?
What I did, I found a system of play, a formation that suit our Kai-Soka soccer.
Tell me about that, Gally.
And the Kai-Soka soccer is like, I call it poetry in motion. We have different cultures and rhythms here, and Carnival depicts that. But we tend to believe that the only time we could come together with culture and rhythm is around Carnival time. No, that is embedded in us. Yeah. All I did is let the fellas be themselves within a proper structure and organization of team play, and put a formation that could highlight the individualism of the players. Because what I remember is like when I was assistant coach to the Dutch back in 82, I think it was 83, 84, he was talking about playing a 4-4-2 system and pushing up the player offside formation. And I said, Trinidadians go to sleep. So you can't play offside because somebody's going to leave somebody onside. And because I was able to understand what he was doing and how it could work with our people. Because a coach will come here from Germany or he might come from Holland. But what he's doing in those is different to what he needs to do here. Yeah. So I just took the fellas and I decided this is where we're going to play, because what they were playing, I couldn't understand, because the Americans and whoever we were playing against back then, the Costa Ricans, they were beating us at our game. But when I decided to play, and what I played, and I could quite easily say it now, because the Football Association don't seem to understand why I was playing at it. I was playing a 2-3-2-3.
2-3?
2-3.
2-3.
I'll explain it to you so you'll know the characters in the structure. I used to have Clayton Morris and Dexter Francis as withdrawn stoppers.
Right.
And to the sides of them were Brian Williams and Marvin Foster. And in the middle of them was Kerry Jameson. And in front of Kerry Jameson was Hudson Charles and Latapi.
Right.
And that was the three across, right. Jameson and Williams and Foster, and then the two in front, which is Hudson Charles and Latapi, and then three in front of them, which were Lewis, Philbert Jones, and Dwight York. Also, what I did is to let the fellas know, we are not from England. Yeah. We're not from Germany. We are from Trinidad and Tobago. No, we're not saying that we can't do some of the things that they're doing elsewhere. But I would say 80% of what we're doing is supposed to be about us.
How much success, how much of the success you thought you had with the team was because of that? Was because that you were able to merge the culture, who a Trinbagonian is, with the football? How much of the success you thought you had?
To be quite honest with you, I would say at least 99%.
You're serious?
Yeah, because you know what was amazing? When I initiated that structure, that formation, first game, we got about 5-6 chances from this team who we couldn't even get one chance before. And after the game, I had about 4 or 5 people who called me at home to tell me, hey, stay with that team. You know what? You know when I noticed we playing good football? When I remember against Honduras in the Oval, the first World Cup game, Dwight York got his first opportunity as a youth, 16 years old, on the strike squad. And I remember doing a substitution with Anton Corley, taking him off in the second half and bringing on Dwight York. And when Dwight York came on, you saw that Trinbagonian side of football. He linked with Latapi, and the people got up in the stadium when Dwight York took a shot at goal, and the goalkeeper had to save, and they never sat down after that. This is when I know we play in Trinidad football. When the spectators get up and
for 3 spectators to get up.
Thank you very much.
And stay standing.
And after most of the games, they would stay by the dressing room just to clap the players. And this is what really enlightened me, encouraged me, and motivated me to really go on with the team.
People of a younger generation and fans, football fans, passionate local football fans, sometimes when I say it to them, they don't understand. So the heights that we reached when we went to the World Cup in 2000, that the Soca Warriors, was fantastic, and that will be fantastic. Yeah. But in my experience as a football fan in Trinidad and Tobago, I never felt, it was like a drug, I never felt how I felt back in 1989 ever again.
People tell me that,
I
am told, people tell me that every day.
Yeah, I never
You know what's amazing? Is that I went to a vegetable market in Chogwana to buy some stuff on Saturday morning. And a lady brought her daughter up. The daughter could be about 15, 16 years old. She said, look, the man on the video. Remember the video, we have a good thing going by Lancelot Lane?
We have a good thing going.
Well, and she was like, because I mean, I ain't no singer, but the first time I was on tape singing something. But what was amazing about that video is that I remember we played Costa Rica in the Oval and we tied 1-1.
Yeah.
And this guy came in the pavilion with a placard saying, if Gally wanted to talk about culture, line with Peter Minchell and them. People were ignorant of the fact. One guy said, if he wanted, I was talking about experimenting with players, and he was saying, but experimenting, like Gally working career. So this is kind of ignorance you were getting from people because they didn't understand. And then Lancelot came and he knocked the door and he said, Gally, I know him personally, and he said, I want to talk to you. And he said to me, he said, listen, we have to take that and spread it to the people because you're on the right track, but they don't understand what you're doing. So we have to get a video in place
to connect it, what you're saying to the people.
To the people. We sat down. A matter of fact, he started the video at my home and in Chironas, and we went to the team. And I remember I was at a Forest Reserve training just after we had a practice session. And this fella said, come, the video on TV. For the first time I saw it, and I know they did the filming and stuff. And the way the people in the little bar at Forest Reserve reacted, people are getting up and clapping.
Ding, 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 ding.
That's it.
Ding, 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 ding.
And that helped a lot. So
it was us. It was us. Who we are.
But what was nice about the team is that I use the same players.
Give me the essence of the autobiography. As you said, it is 60 years of history.
Football history.
Of TNT's football.
But,
give me the essence of the book.
I think the essence of the book is that it started when I was about 5 years old. I was living at the corner of Melvin Lane and Donald Street, a stone throw away from the Queen's Park Savannah. At that time, it was the Port of Spain Football League, POSFL, and the grandstand was the mecca of football back in the day. And as a child, I used to hear this roar from the crowd in my backyard at home, and also drove for people to be going up to the Queen's Park Savannah after the game. So down Donald Street, and it was like a freeway after games and stuff. And plus, I lived in an area where, opposite where I live, Peter Minchell and his brother lived. His elder brother was Marcus Minchell. He was a goalkeeper for Shamrock, who played in the Port of Spain League. And then on the other side of my street was Pat Gomez. He was the Trinidad and Tobago goalkeeper at the time, the national goalkeeper. And just down Melville Lane, close to their street, but the Valdez brothers, that was lawn tennis. And if you only tilt your head to the side, you had Edgar Espinal, who used to play, was centre forward for Shamrock, who played in the Paul's League, living there. And then right next to me was Butch Reminis. You know, he had his own band, used to record Paro and Dandoli and all these fellas. My uncle Crystal used to come by him to record. So I had all that energy and all these influential people around me. I even had Mike Agostini, who was the Trinidad and Tobago 100 meters champion at the time. I was about 6, 7 years old, and I was also fortunate enough, sometime at the street the corner, getting a little fresh air from being inside all the time. Eric Williams would pass there with his chauffeur and knock his pipe in his hand and tilt it to me. And I mean, to see this brilliant gentleman back in the day saying hello to me. So all these things were like a motivating force.
Gally Cummings, the autobiography, available now, Gally?
Yeah, at Nigel Alcan, paper-based bookstore at Normandy. RIK, and Metropolitan at Frederick Street.
Yeah.
And Sharon's at Shogunas.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Not enough times we are able to document history in Trinidad and Tobago, and this gentleman, as I said, played for the national team, coached the national team, and has so much history and knowledge in his head. It's all in how many pages?
390 pages.
390 pages. Gally Cummings, the autobiography. Make sure and get a copy. Thank you very much for sharing some time with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Everald Gally Cummings, guys. We're going to take it out with that. We want to thank you very much for joining us. Remember, every weekend, share a cup with us right here on Cup of Joe.
Cheers.